Well, WEF was always a symbol of globalism, global organizations, global policies, global actions. But what do you think? Is this the end of WEF after these geopolitical changes, exactly breaking old alliances and making new one?
This is a tough question because Klaus Schwab started the World Economic Forum, as I mentioned, as a way for all of these people, prime minister, kings, royal family, bureaucrats, politicians, billionaires, CEOs, executives, to all get together in private and collude and meet secretly. There's always going to be, for the governing class of the world, a reason to have a meeting like this. And what I say in my book, The Great Reset, Global Elites and the Permanent Lockdown, is throughout human history, the ruling class, global governing class, has always tried to think of reasons why the rest of us cannot be free. And that's either wartime restrictions, terrorism, COVID-like viruses, we're in a pandemic, climate emergency, terrorism emergency, immigration emergency, and they like to suspend civil liberties and our rights temporarily while we deal with some kind of crisis. In order to have that kind of tradition carry on as it has for thousands of years, and you can go back to the Roman Empire, through the Middle Ages, through Germany in the 1930s, the idea of declaring an emergency and coming up with reasons why people have to have their rights restricted. This is during times of crises or emergencies is when most human rights are violated throughout history. So there's always going to be a reason to have a Davos type meeting. Having said that, Davos has lost a lot of influence because of the failed, I call it the Great Reject. The Great Reset was the brainchild, of course, of the World Economic Forum. You'll own nothing and be happy. Meat will be a rare treat. Climate will be a top concern. You'll have your food delivered by drone. You won't own vehicles. You're going to be in this whole post-world order where they're going to call us useless eaters as artificial intelligence takes over AI. Yuval Harari of the World Economic Forum has said, we're going to need psychotropic drugs, to dull our mind, sort of psychiatric drugs, and also have mindless video games to occupy us useless eaters. So I think they're just going to regroup at the moment. And even in Donald Trump's presidency, and this is important, he is allowing expansion of AI, which I think is dangerous in many ways. He's allowing government contracts with surveillance companies like Palantir, which is going to allow, a digital great reset in a surveillance state, not just in the United States, but globally. So even people we think are saving us, like President Trump, there's a dark side that you have to be vigilant against, because right now there's an advance of the billionaire class through artificial intelligence and taking more and more jobs. Amazon's already laying off a lot of jobs because they're being replaced by artificial intelligence. And at some point, the people have to be aware that, this surveillance state / AI / their tax money going to promote all this may not be in their best interest. So I say the World Economic Forum is definitely hurting, but the Great Reset agenda is taking a pause, but it could come roaring back.